The state is a group of people who have a monopoly on the legal initiation of force in a geographical area. That is what the state is, okay? It's that they have a monopoly on the initiation of force, right? So I could sit here and say I'm a state, or I could say I'm instituting a tax, or I could say I just wrote down some new laws. You know, I just wrote a constitution and I just wrote some new laws, but I can't enforce it or I'll go to jail. Anybody else tries to enforce rules, they'll go to jail because the state is the only one. They have a monopoly on that. That's what the state is. The state, there is no such thing as an anti-authoritarian state. It has to be authoritarian by its very nature. No matter what degree of a state you believe in, you believe that that realm is the authority. That's what a state is. It's not just like they pass laws, not opinions, right? So like they're allowed to enforce their laws. So the idea that you have an authority, a monopoly on violence, or at least on the initiation of violence, running an economy, that's what socialism is. And then if you look at it this way, through the lens of reality, okay, it's not such a mystery why this works out as a disaster every single time it's tried, right? It's like, oh yeah, well, what would you think? I'm going to give a group of people the power to use violence to run an economy the way they want to. You now have control over everything. Seeing as how, as Ludwig von Mises has described it, an economy really is simply human action, you now get to write the rules for how humans act. Why would that go bad every single time? All right. From an academic standpoint, there's an ongoing debate about what socialism really is. Here's a quote from Francis Fox Piven. The academic debates about socialism's meaning are huge and arcane, and rife with disagreement. But what all definitions have in common is either the elimination of the market or its strict containment. I think that's a pretty accurate quote. But again, if you understand what the market is, see, I like when it's like, you know, when we just talk about the market and it's just kind of like this thing. It's like the market. And then it's real easy for like socialists or left-wing activists to say like, well, why should the market just decide when the government can decide, right? Like, what's the difference? Oh, this is how people bash libertarianism all the time. It's like, oh, you just say like, oh, the market will figure it out, or the market should decide. But the difference, what the market is, what the market is, again, through the lens of reality, is human beings voluntarily interacting with each other. That's what the market is. So if you're saying that there's lots of disagreement, but what all definitions have in common is either the elimination of the market or strict containment, you're saying either the elimination of people voluntarily interacting with each other or just, you know, containing it. Basically threatening someone by putting a gun to their head if they want to voluntarily interact with other people. Again, why would this ever go bad? I mean, if you look at it for what it really is, isn't it so fucking obvious that this would be a disaster anywhere it was tried? And of course, when it is tried, it results in genocide and starvation. Not most of the time, but every time.